Welcome back, everyone. Today we are reading another chapter of Butterfly Blues. This is chapter 14, Can We Try? A Nagisa Shiota X listener. So without further ado, let's get into the video, yeah? I walked him in, practically drug him by his cufflinks. We passed the stairs and walked down the hallway leading into the dining hall that was now full of people. I didn't fail to catch their eyes as we crossed it. I stopped a little abruptly and linked my arm in Nagisa's. It felt right in his grasp. What are you doing?" he asked. I turned to him with a "please shut up" look. He did so with a gulp and continued following me. After all, I wasn't put in A class for my looks. Even though I'm not a genius, I'm as close to one as one can get. We have a pot to stir. I grinned mischievously as we entered the main hall. What is this?" Nagisa asked. "I thought the party was back there." I smiled at his denseness. "That was the other family members of mine. The main ones aren't here," I said, as if it was as clear as a summer day. "Oh," he said, probably confused as to why a family would separate for a family party. "Don't worry, we'll eat together if you're scared." I grinned again, more deadly now. Nagisa's sweat dropped and said, "You're scary, you know that? You remind me of Karma sometimes." The words rolled off harmlessly, but stung like a knife your best friend since childhood stabbed in your back after just screwing your fiancé. It was this that made us both stop walking unanimously. The subject, though talked about, was still very much a sore one, in our eyes at least. We hadn't talked about him since that day in the nurse's office. I looked down, thinking about Karma and the way he'd make both me and Nagisa laugh over the dumbest things. He'd worry Nagisa when he did bold stunts, like threatening a cashier for getting his total wrong. He'd say, "I'm sorry, but I think I did my math right. After all, it is my best subject in all the courses I'm taking, but if you don't think so, we can always go over it with a calculator," wearing his signature devil's smirk. The thought calmed my rapid heartbeat, and I had the courage to look up. "Nagisa?" Nagisa did not look up. He kind of stood there with a dazed look on his face. Then he looked up with a cheery smile. "Yeah?" He was probably thinking about his favorite memory with the redhead. I wonder what it was. I stayed silent. What could I say? What did I think I would say? I had nothing but guilt trickled up my spine again. Now looking at his face, examining it for the first time in forever, I see what he's been holding in. It wasn't just me who felt it. He felt guilty too. And even after I thought we were over this karma business. I sighed and a calm smile found its way on my lips as I tilted my head. Nothing but calmness in my heart, in my eyes. "You're right. I think I strive to be like him now. I say." "And why's that?" he questioned as we began walking again. "Well, it's because I'd always looked up to him when he was alive, and I guess I still do." He let out a light and airy laugh. "You two are always great troublemakers. And you were always apologizing for us," I added. "I guess it's like we were the devils you were sent down to tame, our own personal angel." "Something like that," he replied. "But karma will always be hard to reach." I get confused by his light-hearted comment. What do you mean by that, Nagisa?" He rubbed the back of his neck and turned to me. "What do you think I mean by that?" I thought long and hard, but nothing seemed to find its way in my mind, and I call myself close to a genius. I sigh and frown, then shrug my shoulders. "I see. Well, maybe tomorrow I'll tell you." "What do you mean by that?" I questioned. "You'll see. That is, if you agree to accompany me on a date." "What? Out of the blue, offering me to go out with him? Is he crazy?" Sure." I turn away, a gulf of redness fuming on my face. Great, he said, to which I couldn't help but turn and look at. Another light-hearted smile. His blue pigtails and his unaware eyes, something I could find myself looking at all day without an ounce of boredom taking over. What was this feeling? It's like I'm floating, like I'm on ice, but at the same time covered in sand. Like I'm in a warm sweater sitting on a beach, reading my favorite manga. What have you done to me, Shiota Nagisa? A few seconds later, we approach the main family, and Rio comes from the small group immediately. Where were you? She says in a whisper scream. Your family has been picking out baby names for my child. Mine and your brother's. Oh, great, another whisper shout. It's fine. It'll blow over after a few tequilas are in their stomachs. Wyan's right. We only have to put up with this for a while longer. Gakushu comes out of nowhere and grabs her hand, then promptly walks away. He seems to be enjoying himself, Nagisa says, and I, already on the spurt of laughter, grab his hand to cover my mouth. Surrounded by adults and their gossiping, it was the quickest way I could avoid spilling attention onto myself. He stands there a while, a flabbergasted look covering his eyes as I do my best to contain my fits of giggles. It's not my fault. He's the one who said it in the first place, making me lose control, so he should in turn cover for his actions. I finally calm down and take his hand in mine. Come on, let's go to the kitchen, I say. We can have first pick of our animal cosplay things. Sure. He smiles, looking down at me, then follows me as I lead him into our kitchen. So much space. He sweat drops as we get there. You get used to it, I say without thinking. Do you get lonely? He asks as we enter the kitchen through the back. I think over it. Sometimes, I guess, but I have Gakushu, so it's fine. You're lucky then. He smiles. I then look over my shoulder at him, remembering how his home life was before the accident happened. Does she... I bit my lip. Still force you to? Yeah, but you get used to it. I wanted to hit myself. Of course he'd use my words against me. What the hell, YN? The only time I can't manipulate. The only person I can't control. Ugh, I hate it. Nagisa? I call. Yeah? He answers, moving to stand right behind me. My eyes meet his, and then I think, he's still mourning, like me. Can we get through it together? Nothing, I say, then turn back around, going behind the counter where the costume pieces were. Come on, you can be Prince Charming and I'll be Cinderella. Okay, he follows me once more. A sad smile playing on both our lips as we do our best to ignore the unanswered question we both want to ask. Okay, so at the bottom I wrote, once again, not my best work, but what do you think? Honestly, I really, really hate when my voice is like this. It's not the most pleasant, and on it. Okay, I'm gonna stop complaining about it, even though I sound like this. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye till next time.